Hello everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Forgot where I was. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. We got plenty more waiting for you over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. And today, we are talking about when is the best time to book a cruise. And, you know, jokingly, I always say, hey, it's always a great time to book a cruise. I'm going to share some tips and advice for when to book your Royal Caribbean cruise. We are recording this video live every Monday. We are live here on YouTube, hanging out with you, talking Royal Caribbean. So make sure you join us here each and every Monday. Subscribe to our channel, turn on your notifications, so that way YouTube lets you know as soon as I go live. And there's a lot of great reasons to book a cruise. I mean, tons going on. So, of course, let's start off with the basics. How early should you book a cruise, right? There's a lot of benefits to booking and drawbacks, quite frankly, at different times. But there's really three main buckets of time, really, we're talking about when it comes to booking a cruise. The first bucket is 12 to 18 months or even earlier than that, right? And as a general rule of thumb, the further you are traveling, the further out you want to consider booking, right? If you're looking to do a cruise around the world or a cruise that starts around the world, like in Australia or Europe, you know, or the Baltics, the Mediterranean, even Alaska, it's a really good idea to book early. Having plenty of lead time will give you the greatest choice when it comes to choosing not only the ship, but also your accommodations, and also be able to account for airfare. That's a really big factor for a lot of folks when it comes to picking a right cruise for them. So don't overlook the airfare. And again, this is 12 to 18 months, essentially a year or more in advance to book a cruise. The next bucket of time is 6 to 12 months. And this really is a very popular time, if you will, to book cruises. It's also a sweet spot for a lot of people because at 6 months or so from your travel date, you'll find probably decent airfare deals, or at least probably the best airfare prices you're gonna find, even for international destinations. And also, when you're booking this close in, 6 to 12 months out, you know, you've got enough time that you're still ahead of the curve a little bit, but you're not like, you know, burning, you know, you still have some options there, really is what I'm trying to say. And 6 to 12 months, I think, is the realistic thing. I often advise people to book it as early as you can back in the 12 to 18 month bucket, but 6 to 12 months is a pretty good idea. You should have plenty of opportunities, and certainly for cruises out of your home country, you should have no issues whatsoever finding some great choices. And then, of course, you have closer in, and that's the, whether you want to call that last minute cruising, whether you want to call that, you know, just closer into your sail date, right? When you're talking about 3 or 4 months or less before your vacation, it's still very possible to book a cruise. I don't want to scare people away and say, well, if you don't book a cruise, you know, less than 3 months away, you're not getting in. Far from it, but you have to be a little more flexible because in general, when you're this close to your cruise's departure date, many itineraries and staterooms have already been booked, especially on longer sailings. So, you know, you have to be a little more flexible. Maybe you choose a different date. Maybe you're in a different kind of stateroom than you ordinarily would have liked, but there's still opportunity for you to do that. Now, when it comes to booking your cruise, you know, you obviously want to know, well, how do I get the best deal? Are there any incentives or upgrades you should know about? And I hate to say it, and this is at the risk of, this is a YouTube video, I'm trying to help everybody out here, but there is no guaranteed secret formula, black magic to scoring a great deal on a balcony upgrade or onboard credit, but you should know that booking your cruise as early as you can does help quite a bit. Also, when you book, there's something called wave season, and we're recording this video here in October, so it's not too far away because wave season runs from January to March. And a lot of cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, offer a lot of really great booking incentives during that time, like onboard credits, discounts, and value-added offers. So you'll find a lot of different choices there during there. Now, of course, Royal Caribbean runs specials throughout the year, so I don't want you to make you think like, you know, if you're not in January to March, you're out of luck in terms of getting a good deal out there. But you definitely want to pay attention in those months because there's a lot of great, you know, opportunities. But booking early is really the key to scoring the best price. I mean, if you're asking me what's one thing you can do to book a cruise early, to get a good deal, it is to book early. That is the magic sauce. It's a thing that I always recommend, and I feel like everybody should be doing that, right? And then the last thing is, okay, you know when to book, you know what you're looking for when you book, what's the best way to actually book the cruise, and while you can use Royal Caribbean's website and go to RoyalCaribbean.com and book it, it's actually not the best thing to do. Whether you're a first-time cruiser, taking a couple of cruises, or been there, done that cruiser, no matter who you are, I always recommend using a good travel agent. A good travel agent is really going to help you really plan out everything you need to know about that. They're going to make your life easier. That's the bottom line. First and foremost, a great travel agent is going to try to get the best possible deal. There are military discounts. There are residency discounts. There are different deals being run by the cruise lines, by the travel agency themselves, and everywhere in between. So they're going to key you in on all the discounts available to you. But in addition to that, they're going to save you time and make the entire process seamless. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here, guys. Because of all the times I've cruised, I have always used a travel agent. It is the way to go. It's what I always recommend, and that's a really important thing. So there you go. There's some important things to know about when's the best time to book a cruise. And we are with you live here on YouTube. Shout out to our folks who are already in the chat room. And if you are in the chat room, let me know how many days till your next Royal Caribbean cruise. Type it in chat. Would love to hear that. We got Bethany Lawrence, first time in chat. Paul Grigg, first live chat as well. Welcome, guys. James Cohen says Stephanie at MEI Travel is awesome. Couldn't agree more. Of course, MEI Travel is our sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Full disclosure. Raji told disagree with the travel agent comment. Perhaps it's different in the UK. You know, what's interesting, I don't know what happened to my camera here, so let me fix that. You know, here's what I would tell you. If you haven't had a good experience with the travel agent, then you haven't found the right one for you. I gotta be honest with you. I think there's a travel agent for everybody, whether you live in the UK, Australia, the United States, Canada, New Jersey. It's all good all around. And I'm just waiting for my software to come up here. Anytime now, computer. Feel free to bring up the anti-blur option. I'm sorry, guys, about the blurriness. But I would tell you, I would recommend you find a travel agent fit that's better for you. Let them know before you start with them. Say, hey, listen, I used a travel agent before. I wasn't thrilled with the experience. Here's why. And there we go. That's better. And, you know, let them work with you. Let them earn your business. So, there you go. Deborah Banks still deciding on your next cruise. Nice. Josie RDW bringing your mom and girlfriend's mom on their first ever cruise. Nice. Sophie, is this your full-time job or do you have another one? I still have another job, Sophie. Yeah. Gene at 262. Keith at 32 days. Shannon, 400 days. Milfi, 81, just got back from Mariner of the Seas for the second time. Nice. I love Mariner. I've been on Mariner like 6 times this year already. Carolina Cordova, 13 days, Navigator of the Seas. Love that ship. Caitlin says, it took me 2 weeks of searching to find the right travel agent for me, worth the patience. And Caitlin, I'm so glad you shared that there, because I really do believe everybody can benefit. It's in your best interest to use a travel agent. First and foremost, by the way, let's give some advice about using a travel agent. Number 1, never use a travel agent that charges you for their services. Every travel agent is paid by the cruise line for their services, so there's absolutely no reason they should be charging you anything for their services related, obviously, to booking a cruise. There should be no service charges. There's no service fees. So that's first and foremost. Number 2, again, before you get started, if you have concerns, let them know, hey, look, this is what I'm looking for. How can we make that work, right? That's a really good one. And number 3, use personal recommendations. There's a lot of folks, I'm sure you know, who go on cruises. I mean, we have an official travel agency of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Full disclosure, they're a sponsor, okay? So I have to put that out there. But MEI Travel is wonderful. I've been using them even before they were a sponsor. Sophie Burns, first like, thank you. Paul says, Kelly at MEI is fantastic. Thank you, Paul, for supporting our sponsor. Real Disney Princess, 146 to your next cruise. Charles Turner, welcome. Preston just got off Symphony of the Seas Saturday. It was pretty cool being able to test their food delivery beta on the app for free. What? Preston, whoa. Back it up. What happened? Where's the screenshots? Hold on. Hold the door. Time out. There was a app. What? Preston, when that happens, dude, you gotta be like sending me an email. Matt at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Brother, this is what's happening. I didn't know that. Ben Sanders, does Royal Caribbean have any drink packages like Norwegian? Yes, they do, Ben. Absolutely. Preston, tell me you have some screenshots, brother. I want to hear about this. You guys send me an email, dude. We'll figure something out. Jeanette Castillo can't find new barbecue place to reserve on Oasis for December. It might not be available yet, Jeanette. I have to check on my reservation because I'm going on Oasis in November. Because it's a new restaurant, sometimes there's a little more of a lag factor in terms of getting the ship over there. Mercy, celebrating our 50th anniversary with the whole family and symphony. Any recommendations? Mercy, first of all, that's an awesome idea. Go to a specialty restaurant. It's a great idea to celebrate. You can book specialty restaurants in advance via Royal Caribbean's website. Ron Ladowski says, I never used a travel agent, but Matt introduced me to them, and I could cruise any... I think Ron is trying to say he uses them now. Press, I don't have any screenshots, LOL, but you can get food delivered anywhere on the ship. All right, dude, Preston, send me an email, dude. I want to pick your brain a little bit. Matt@RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Bethany Lawrence, love your videos. Thank you so much. Stephanie, 4 days till Enchantment of the Seas. Woo, nice. Caitlin says, will you post a review of the Amplified Oasis? Heck yeah. Actually, Caitlin, I'm going to be doing a live blog from on board Oasis of the Sea. So November 24th, I'm going on Oasis, and I'll be, every day of the cruise, I'll be live blogging at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Manifa wants to know, when will the dates for May 2021 be available? Depends on the itinerary, Manifa, but the first set of itineraries coming out for 2021 are going to be released later this month. We have the details at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Holy moly, Senderab with a super chat! Dude, thank you. Senderab says, I missed you on YouTube since we got home and couldn't super chat until now, but thanks for making our cruise a success. Between answering our questions and answering our questions and answering questions we didn't know we had, you rock. Thank you. Well, Senderab, I am super happy that that we can make your cruise a little bit better. And wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Hugo, going on the renewed Allure this is next year to depart from Barcelona. Any recommendations on that ship and what to do in the EU? When it comes to Europe, I haven't been to Europe, Hugo, but do as much as you can on shore. And with the new ship, Hugo, pay attention to what's coming up with Oasis, because very many of the changes coming to Allure are coming to Oasis first, so it'll be a good idea. Jessica, how do you get into this kind of work? You'd be interested. Well, you have to be a nerd. You have to give up a social life. No, I do this for fun. Honestly, I do RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com because it's just fun. I love cruising. I love to share with it. And it's just kind of, it's been very organic. I don't have a real master plan. I didn't start out with it. I've been doing this for 9 years, believe it or not. Not all on YouTube, obviously, but, Jonesy, someone watched Deep Space Nine. My gosh. Jessica says, what's a social life? And Caitlin says, nerds rule. Embrace your inner nerd, guys. Sophie, what's on Oasis before the crane hit? What's new? Well, it's still under refurbishment, and they're adding some new restaurants, water slides, they're changing some things. We have the full details about what is changing on Oasis of the Seas at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Gene, you should say nerds with pride. Look, guys, I don't have to impress anybody else. I am a nerd. I'm proud of it, right? Last leader is new. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Hunt, are you conflicted about Freedom removing Sabor and adding Azumi? Yeah, but you know what, Hunt? I knew that was happening in the sense that Sabor is being removed from the fleet systematically. So once it was removed on Navigator and we saw the writing on the wall, Hunt, you make your peace with it. You know, unfortunately it is what it is. But we do have sushi, so I'll definitely take Izumi over, say, Hooked. So I'm definitely on that one. Daily Muggle is new as well. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm so glad we've got some new faces in here as well, as long with some good friends joining us. And I'm also loving that we got some good old nerd friends joining us here. We've got Baby Jugs and Sophie Burns. Love it. Charles wants to know, what's the latest we can say on the ship on the last day? Really, you'd have to push it to about 9:30 a.m. and then they're really going to be looking for you. So about 9:30 a.m. or so. Danielle, I have my time dining on Anthem of the Seas. How will I know which restaurant to show up at? Ooh, it's going to say on the bottom of your SeaPass card, Danielle. So, like, right over here, even though this is traditional, it really doesn't matter. I don't know if you can see it because the camera is not going to focus on it. But it'll say what deck and which one to go to. So you're good to go. Not to worry. George Macy purchased our drink packages today. Thanks, Matt. Oasis of the Seas in 62 days. Nice. Love it. Drink packages, you know what, if you know you're going to drink a lot, and it's not even that much, but it's definitely going to be cheaper to buy a drink package before the cruise than on board. No question about it. JC, Royal Caribbean and I have a very good working relationship. They're certainly aware of me. They've invited me to a number of different events, so I'm very lucky to have a very good relationship with them. But I don't work for Royal Caribbean. Paul says, do you feel the cruise's private islands take money away from the locals, like Cozumel, etc., and is Kokiki visited every day? They have a lot of stops there. But to go back to your first question, do you feel the cruises, private islands take money away from the locals? No, I think people spend money differently. There is a phenomenon that some locals have told me about, and it has nothing to do with private islands or not, Paul. It is the earlier, ideally, the locals prefer they be the first stop the cruise ship goes to, because people tend to kind of splurge at the beginning of the cruise. So, like, if you're going into 3 ports or 4 ports, by the time you get to port 3 or 4, you've spent a lot of money on shore, and people start to clam and be like, oh gosh, I spent a lot of money back there on that other port. Let's not spend as much money here. So there is a little bit of that. But no, I don't think that having, a perfect day Coco Key, a Labadee takes anything away. Number one, it provides jobs for a lot of people who live in the area. Number two, Royal Caribbean and all cruise lines pay taxes and fees to the various countries for access to these places. And so I really do believe it is a win-win situation for both. Olivia, any restaurants, any restaurants you recommend for a Symphony of the Seas? 150 Central Park, Izumi, and Jamie's Italian. Great choices over there. Jay Smitty, wow. Now the worlds have completely collided there, brother. It's good to see you here. It must be weird without me yelling out V1 rotate. But Jay Smitty, good to see you here, and I'm glad we got to connect. Belinda, what is the cheapest the drink package ever gets? I can tell you the answer, Belinda, but it may not actually apply to you. What I mean by that is the drink package price varies from ship to ship and sailing to sailing. Shorter sailings tend to have more expensive drink packages, right? You probably pay more per day on a 3-night cruise than you will on a 7-night cruise than you will on a 14-night cruise. Because obviously, over the long haul, Royal Caribbean, it's going to be harder to sell drink packages for 7, 10, 14 nights versus a 3-night, which everybody gets it for. So you're really talking about, these days, high 40s, low 50s is probably a really good price. Carolina, any second-time cruisers recommendations? Try a different class of ship. So whatever one you did before, try a different class. Christine Souders? Christine writes, we have our first cruise in February 2020. Thanks for all the helpful information. One question, when it isn't the formal wear your best, what can you wear in the main dining room? Are jeans okay? Yeah, nice jeans are fine. As long as they don't have holes in them, totally good. Preston, my email address is matt, M-A-T-T, at royalcaribbeanblog.com. I'm not joking, brother. I need like a brain download from you on. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Andy, drink prices are higher next year on Allure than this year on Oasis. Is that normal? Yeah, the prices tend to go up over time in general, whether it's a cruise ship or not. But I'm not surprised to hear you say that. Caitlin wants to know, how do you get a good deal on spa packages? Ooh. You say packages. That's a really important term. Because if you book the spa before the cruise, you'll get the best prices on a single treatment, Caitlin. So if you want a Swedish massage, if you want a bamboo massage, that's it, just one thing, book it before the cruise. But Caitlin, if you're the kind of person who says, you know what, I want a combo deal. I want 20 minutes of Swedish massage, 20-minute facial, and 20 minutes something else, then book it on board the ship and go on the first day to book that. Angela with the super chat. Angela Roman, thank you so much. Angela is one of the most kindest, supportive people here on YouTube. Love it. Vanessa, OMG, I made it. You're here live, Vanessa. Glad to have you joining us here. Josie, are you able to add your URL and email address to the bottom of your video as a watermark? I certainly could, Jonesy. I think it kind of gets in the way, but maybe you're onto something. Like the news channels have their logo spinning. Maybe I should do that. Ron Ladowski, let me add one more thing right now. Symphony of the Seas or... Wait a minute, I can't read. Ron Ladowski says, let me add one more thing. I am happy and a loyal insider. Thank you, Ron Ladowski. Ron is referring to the Royal Caribbean Blog Insider Program, which helps support what we do here at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So thank you, Ron, for your support. And if you want to become an insider, all you have to do is go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/support. Sophie, do you know what time the teen speed climb is? I'm finally 12 and can do it. Sophie, what you should do, I don't know the time, but look at a past cruise compass from the ship you're going on. You'll find probably the time listed there, and I bet you it'll be similar for your sailing. Oliver, and we do have past cruise compasses at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Oliver, could you give my girlfriend Kelby a shout out for her birthday? 3 days to explore the seas. Kelby, happy early birthday. Hope you have a great time on Explorer. Daniel, what are some activities to do in the evening that don't necessarily involve drinking? Ooh. Well, you can always go to there's bar entertainment. You don't have to drink there, but that's one. The casino is another one as well. Go to the pool. Go to the pool. There is almost always a movie being shown poolside, so you can hang in the pool or the hot tub, enjoy a film right over there from the comfort of the pool chairs or right in the pool water itself. Also, the evening is a great time. There's always evening entertainment, right? There's shows, there's comedians. There's a lot of great things you can do on there. Joe Dell wants to know, do we need to take our passports onshore for reboarding or any other purpose for 104 days to lure the seas? This is going to get some opinions in the house, which is fine. But I always bring my passport with me when I get off the ship. when you're going to visit a foreign port and you're leaving the ship and you're exploring, if you ever got stuck there for any reason, if you have your passport, you can leave right then and there, go to the airport with a credit card, buy a flight, boom, you're out of there. If you don't have your passport with you, then, and you get stuck somewhere, you're going to be required to go to the U.S. consulate office or whatever consulate of your country, apply for a visa to exit there. It's a really long process, not easy, right? Now, your question may be more direct about like, okay, you're going to do a shore excursion, but when you get back to the ship, you need to show ID. Some ports, yes. Some ports, no. I always bring my passport with me anyway, and that way you're good to go. You will need to show your C-Pass card. That you're going to need to show in order to get back on the ship. But some ports will require also another form of identification. And again, a passport to me is a easy one to go there. Charles, are the pools heated? Some are, some are not. It depends, really. Sophie, do you prefer the sugar-free chocolate chip cookies or the Christmas cookies? Chocolate chips are really, really good. Stephen Ames, love your t-shirt. Thank you. I'm wearing my Voyager class t-shirt. You can buy this at royalcaribbeanblog.shop. S-H-O-P. Angie, when will Harmony of the Seas be refurbished? Well, every 5 years, ships get a refurbishment, Angie, but nothing's been scheduled currently, or announced, I should say. Jonesy, aren't you worried about losing your passport while you're out? I mean, no more so than I'm afraid of losing my phone or my kids or my wallet. Why would it be any different? You know, I mean, we all carry with us some important documents or things, right? Cash or money. You still bring that offshore. I'm not sure why losing one or the other is any less or more important. Or, you know, it's not like you're not going. If it wasn't for the passport, you'd have no valuables. You still have valuables. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's about being a responsible traveler. And again, thinking you always want to be like defensive driving. It's kind of like that. Like you're always thinking worst case scenario. Good evening, Mike Pastor. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Ken Unzer in the house. What's going on, Ken? Welcome. Andy, I've ever been to American Icon Grill. Yeah, it's just the main dining room. It's a fancy name for the main dining room, but it is the main dining room. Justin Liu says, first, I want to say your videos and podcasts, and this video is amazing. How can you become an interviewee on the podcast? Good evening. When you go on a cruise, send me an email. I have to get back. Matt@RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Ewan. What are the best things to do on ratings of the seas? Did you see our video last week or 2 weeks ago on our channel right here where I listed the best thing to do on every single Royal Caribbean ship, including ratings of these? Brent posed with a super chat. Brother, thank you so much. Brent writes, hey, Matt, are the ship tours worth $89 per person? On Liberty, October 27th, thank you. Not sure why I couldn't make it an even $10. I'm not sure either, because I know you can, but I don't know. Anyway, so Brent wants to know, our ship tour is worth $89. Let me put it this way, Brent. If you're sitting at home and you're thinking, you know what, it would be really cool to go see the galley, the kitchen, the bridge, the engine room, yes, you should do it. It is worth it. It is really cool. You have to have that mindset, I think, Brent, more than anything, of wanting, like, finding that kind of stuff interesting, right? So, Andy Lee is new. Welcome, Andy. Jenny, do you take your passport or just the passport card? Passport. The reason why you want to have a passport, not a passport card, is if you ever had, I mean, for the cruise ship, yeah, you can use a passport card. But if you ever needed to fly, you can't fly with a passport card. Brian, Florida, are there any free Wi-Fi spots on Symphony? No, you got to pay for internet access while on board. Lucinda, do suite passengers get to do the ship tours for free? Sometimes they get invited to one aspect of the tour, like a backstage tour of the theater or backstage tour of the bridge. It depends. Andy, yeah, I've been to Chic. Chic, American Icon Grill, they're all just, they have different names and different themes, but it's the exact same menu in all the restaurants. It's just the main dining room. Jane Butcher, are there shows on Majesty of the Seas? Do you know what they are? There are shows on their... Yes, Jane, there are shows on Majesty of the Seas. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but we do have past cruise compasses at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. And Jane, thank you for reminding me. I have a brand new cruise compass to post over there, so look for that very, very soon. Just want to know, where did I get the Monopoly board game behind me? It was a gift to travel agents a couple of years ago on Independence of the Seas. It's not available to buy formally, so you have to go on eBay in order to find it. Scott wants to know, what's the best thing to do on Symphony of the Seas? My gosh, I mean, there's so many great things to do. You know, you've got Hairspray, the Broadway musical. You've got ziplining, flow rider, mini golf. You've got the Ultimate Abyss, water slides, some fantastic specialty restaurants, the carousel and the boardwalk. I mean, geez, I've only scratched the surface there. Susie, is there going to be a Mexican restaurant? Susie, I'm sure there's like a follow-up question there, but I didn't get it. Gall, I think Gall. What level are you at Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor sighting? I am Diamond Plus. And Chag Sameach to you. Where's the best place to park at Port Everglades? At the Port Alexandria. I know there are offsite places, but the convenience factor alone is the only reason you should be booking at the terminal itself. I do it every single time. Andy, I've been to the Grand, Chic, American Icon Grill, and Silk are all the same restaurant. They just have different names and theme, but they're all the main dining room. So it's the same food, same menu. They used to have different things, but now it's all the same thing. So I've been to them all. George Macy, wow, another super chat. Guys, thank you so much. George, just a small thank you. My brother and his wife are coming with us. They saw your video of the best drinks, but they don't drink. Can you get all that on the refreshment drink package? Yes. So if you're on the refreshment package, George, the non-alcoholic drink package, they can get a virgin strawberry daiquiri, a virgin pina colada, a Shirley Temple, a Coke, a bottle of water. Sure, that makes any sense. When will I get to Pinnacle, Justin wants to know. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe a couple more years away if I maintain this pace. But honestly, I don't really care. It doesn't really mean... I mean, when I get there, it'll be nice, but it's not my end-all, be-all. It's not my goal, you know? I feel like Diamond Plus is really good, and Pinnacle is so far away. I'm only at about 200 and I think 70 some odd points right now. So, and you get to get 700 for Pinnacle. Lady, I have never taken a cruise on Carnival. Leon wants to know, how many times per day can I use the dinner package on Symphony of the Seas? One dinner. If you're talking about the ultimate dining package, you can actually eat unlimited. But if you buy like the 3-night package, then it's one per day. Am I going on Wonder of the Seas? Probably not. It's going to China. Not anytime soon, let's put it that way. Maybe if she gets redeployed somewhere, sure. Pierre wants to know, will Royal Caribbean be doing overnights at Perfect Day at Coco Key? Pierre, it's a good question. The answer is Royal Caribbean wants to. They have said time and time again, they absolutely want to. They're looking into ways to make it logistically possible, but yes, that is the plan currently. Just at any overnights at Labadee? Not currently. Caitlin says, I sailed on Carnival once, and I couldn't stand it. Royal Caribbean all day, every day. Hey, you know, I haven't sailed on Carnival, so it'd be unfair of me to speak ill over the cruise lines, but I also don't have a ton of desire there. Sammy says, what are some good things to do in Port Canaveral besides Disney, Universal, or the Space Center? Good question. There are some malls and shopping. There's actually, if you rent a car, you could go to, there's a small mall in Cocoa Beach or Merritt Island, I forget exactly, Melbourne, one of those places nearby. You could take actually take a cab or rent a car, go to Orlando. There's a ton of stuff to do in Orlando. I mean, there's 2 different giant outlet malls in Orlando. There's great dining in Orlando. It's a major city, so you're going to find a lot of things to do over there. Milfy wants to know, am I doing Odyssey before it leaves the States? I'm booked on the inaugural currently, so we shall see. John Sub, I would never cruise with Carnival. Stick with the best Royal Caribbean. Terry, where is your first stop when you get on Harmony Night? First is January 2020. I always, on the first day of the cruise, always go to the Windjammer, the buffet. It's our first stop all the time. Pam, do I know if the Symphony offers luggage valet? It's not so much the ship, Pam, as it is the port. So it's port dependent. Obviously, right now she's in Miami. I think she does, Pam, but I'm not 1,000% sure, so I don't want to mislead you. Ken wants to know, what is my favorite entree at 150 Central Park? The beef tenderloin for 2. Amazing. That is amazing. I love that, dude. Excuse me. And Scott, I already answered your question, best thing to do on Symphony, or I think it was yours. I answered that question, but we did post a video like a week or 2 ago with the best thing to do on every ship in Royal Caribbean's fleet. So check that out. Pink Bobo Head, love the name. Sailing on Navigator. How can I connect with other passengers? Facebook's great for this. Go to Facebook, search for Navigator of the Seas, November 4th. I bet you'll find a group for that. Danielle, how different is the food in the solarium versus the main dining room? The Solarium Bistro, Danielle, has a lot of fairly decent variety. A lot of Mediterranean food, some soups, salads, a lot of hummus. You can find some different choices there. I really like it. And the best thing, Danielle, before you commit to the Solarium, you can walk in there and be, hey, can I just take a look at the menu? You can totally do that. So, let's see here. John wants to know, can you do a Hawaiian cruise tips video ovation May 2020? You know what, John? I'm going to send an email to a good friend of mine, Twankster, who did that cruise, I haven't done that one, and ask for some good tips there, because I think it's a really good idea. I'm going to make a note of it. It's a really good idea. Ask Twangster for tips for a Hawaii cruise. I will do that. Thank you. Have I ever tried the lobster on a cruise? Actually, I don't eat lobster. I know, some people probably fell over. What? I know, I don't eat lobster. Sorry. Mona wants to know, are gratuities per drink package or on per drink? It's per drink package, Mona. So when you buy the drink package, you'll see there's the drink package cost and then a service fee. That service fee covers all your gratuities. So Mona, when you order any drink with the drink package, no additional cost. You're good to go. No worries, Scott. I just wanted to make sure you heard that answer already. John, I'm trying to talk my wife into doing another cruise for our 50th anniversary in less than 2 years. We did Alaska cruise already. Any suggestions? Oh, man. Yeah. You did Alaska. You do Panama Canal. You could do Europe, somewhere in Europe, Mediterranean, Baltics. If you want to stay here in North America, Panama Canal is one. The other one I would also recommend, do a cruise that goes to Perfect Day, Coco Key. I think you'll like that quite a bit. Ario wants to know, are the foods different based on where the ship sails from? Suppose be on the cruise on Quantum out of Singapore in February. Yeah, so for Asia, absolutely. You will see a different, more Asian-centric menu there, no question about it. John, thoughts on Odyssey of the Seas? I am excited for it. Hang on a second here. Clear my throat. So John wants to know my thoughts on Odyssey of the Seas. It's interesting. I'm excited for it. It's the second Quantum Ultra class ship, but the first one was Spectrum, which went to Asia and was Asia specific. So I think we're going to see something very, very different for Odyssey of the Seas. And honestly, I'm very excited for this. I think it's going to be a really great ship. I'm really looking forward to it. Sophie, do you think we need magnetic hooks in our Harmony Central Park balcony, me and your mom? Probably not. I mean, they're nice to have, but not totally necessary. Would you recommend a first-time cruiser take I think you mean a 15-night cruise? Not 15 cruise, right? Sure, why not? I mean, it's probably a little longer. I would say first-timers, you want to do like a 7-night cruise, but I wouldn't look at it as a bad idea. Life with the Wolves. Saber Wolf in the house, late to the party as usual. I'm glad you're here. I'm just glad you're joining us here. That's the bottom line. So, Carol wants to know if there are any new groups coming soon. Do you mean what do you mean by groups, Ken? You mean group cruises? With 2021, we're going to announce those eventually. There'll be no more group cruises for 2020, but for 2021, yeah, we're going to announce those as soon as the new itineraries drop. Absolutely. Pascal is here. Any idea why Royal Caribbean departs from China for their Japanese cruises? It would seem like to make more sense just to leave and return out of Japan like other lines do. I'm not sure, Pascal. That's an excellent question. If I had to guess, my guess would be Royal Caribbean is far more dedicated to the Chinese cruise market than other cruise lines. And I feel like that's primarily why they do it. I'm not saying that's the end-all be-all, but I feel like Royal Caribbean wants to make the Chinese cruise market truly perform very, very well, right? And see a major return on that. And they really believe that they won't make money there unless they really invest money there. And so by offering more ships to go out of China, there you go. Caitlin, will the Solarium be redone on Oasis of the Seas? Not that I can recall. I don't recall that being the case, Caitlin, but I could be wrong on that. No worry, Ken. No, it's all good. And shout out to Carol, who's listening right now. Paul, traveling with you next October on Brilliance. What is your favorite thing on Brilliance of the Seas? Oh my gosh. First of all, sail away from the helipad. You'll find me there all the time, Paul. I love doing sail away from the helipad. I love the pub on board the ship. It's a fabulous dining. The schooner bar is fantastic on that ship. It is a very large venue. I love the views you can get out of there. Really, really nice. Happy cruising. Happy to give a shout out. Eric Thomas, where is the best place on Coco Key to have a cabana for a meetup spot for everyone doing different things? Well, I would probably say the most central location is going to be the cabanas at the Oasis Lagoon. It's right in the middle, centrally located, pretty good. The problem with Thrill Water Park is, unless everybody has water park access, you can't get there. So that's kind of again, probably not a conducive one. So you're really talking about either Chill Island or you're talking about the Oasis Lagoon. There is Cocoa Beach Club, but that obviously has a much higher cost and admission requirements, so we'll sidetrack that one. I would say Odyssey of the Seas. Oasis Lagoon. Jane did Baltic on Brilliance. Great ship. I love Brilliance. I have Brilliance booked also for January next year. Val and Martinez, what is the best musical aboard any Royal Caribbean ship? Oh, man. That's a great question. I mean, you've got such great choices. You've got Cats, you've got Hairspray, you've got Grease, you've got Mamma Mia. I think Mamma Mia has been my favorite so far. I'd say my favorite's been Mamma Mia, followed by Hairspray. Kimoy, what's the maximum capacity for the new ship? Well, there are many new ships, but it doesn't even matter which one you're specifying because I don't know. It's all at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. NYC Lover, odd question. It's a good one. Thinking of buying the unlimited dining package. Do you think if I order food from the specialty restaurant to be sent to the main dining room, if the rest of my group doesn't buy the package? Wait a minute. Do you think if I order food in the specialty... No, you can't. I mean, the only exception would be like Izumi. Some like the sushi, they'll do takeout, but takeout / delivery isn't really a thing. So, Mona, how many cruises do you currently have booked? Oh boy, sound like my wife. How many do I have booked? I'm going to check right now, Mona. More than one. That is for sure. I'm logging in very slowly here to get the answer to that one. I have 9 upcoming cruises booked between now and 2020. Rhonda has been on Royal Caribbean and Carnival equally, two on both. Royal Caribbean tops Carnival in every aspect: food, entertainment, customer service, etc. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing your experience there. Candace, can you say some of the top things to do in Falmouth heading there on alert? Ooh, that's a tough one to do, Candace. I have largely struck out with choices in Falmouth. The one I would recommend, if you want one recommendation, I have been there, it's been a long, long time since I've been there, would be the Hilton Rose Hall Resort. It's a day pass, all-inclusive. That'd be my choice. I went there a number of years ago. It's been quite a while, but I recall that one being the best one so far. Jason Calderon, how far can a travel agency book out till? As long as there are options available, Jason, for Royal Caribbean. Currently, you're limited for Royal Caribbean through about March or April of 2021. That will change soon, but booking with the travel agent versus booking on your own, same restrictions and options available. Jason wants to know, do I think the chat app will be working by August 2020 on Symphony? Honestly, I have no idea, Jason. Royal Caribbean has not given any kind of timeline about when certain features or options will be available on any ship in the fleet. It's just, when it's ready, it's ready. I know it's not the answer you're looking for. I would be genuinely surprised sitting here in October 2019, Jason, if it wasn't ready by August 2020. But again, I really have I have no inside information on that. Any advice for a non-swimmer in Falmouth? I think the Hilton Rose Hall is a good idea. I mean, you can kind of hang out there. Otherwise, just hang out in the port area. It's fairly large. Eric Enger, was my Crown and Anchor level? I am a Diamond Plus member. Pascal has 6 cruises booked. I blame Matt. What can I say except you're welcome? Drew, have I been on every Royal Caribbean ship? I have not. I have not been on Liberty of the Seas. I have not been on Vision of the Seas. I have not been on Enchantment of the Seas. I have not been on Adventure of the Seas. I have not been on Voyager of the Seas. I have not been on Spectrum of the Seas. I have not been on Ovation of the Seas. Empress. There's still a fair amount for me to get to. Metallica, I have no information about Disney Cruise Line. I'm sorry. We just focus on Royal Caribbean here. Tess, what kind of stuff do you get for being a higher Crown and Anchor member? Ooh, it's a good question. You get actually free 8x10 photos. You get complimentary alcoholic beverages every evening of the cruise. That's a really big one right there. Priority embarkation, I should say. Disembarkation as well. You get special luggage tags. There's some nice benefits right there. Ron Lenowski, I will make Diamond Plus next year. I blame Matt too. What can I say except you're welcome? What is my favorite ship I've been on? Kimoy? Harmony of the Seas #1, Navigator #2. Greg Smith, favorite ship class? Oasis. I mean, there's Oasis class and there's everything else. Scott, am I going on a Symphony on August 15th, 2020? I am not, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Baby Jugs, around what time is muster? Depends on the ship. Usually, Baby Jugs around 3 or 4 p.m., give or take. These are really good questions, guys. Thanks so much for joining us here. I got time for like 1 or 2 more, and then I gotta run on out of here. Brandon, have you had the mozzarella sticks on Coco Cake? Are they any good? They're amazing. You need to order multiple orders of them. They're amazing. They're available at the Snack Shack. Ken Unser, I want to blame Matt for something. It's probably my fault. Baby Jugs, if you don't get until 4 p.m., that's a real big problem. You need to get to... First of all, do not fly into your cruise the same day of your cruise. Get in at least a day ahead of time. John Supp, I gave up the NFL to watch you. Now, as a nerd, that doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but I'm sure as a non-nerd, that's probably a really big deal. So thank you, brother, for watching us here. Timothy wants to know, how many bags can I take on Liberty of the Seas? Actually, Royal Caribbean has no formal restriction to the amount of luggage you can bring on. The only rule is it has to be reasonable. So if you want to bring 12 bags, like a steam trunk parade, the answer is no. Cruise Addict, 6 cruises coming up only on Royal Caribbean. Have other cruises DCL Carnival too. Well, you have 6 cruises coming up on Royal Caribbean. I like that. Good, you're good people right there. I like it. Baby Jugs, hashtag nerds unite. Absolutely. Happy cruising. Those ships are not for sale. I know what website you're talking about, dude. I don't know where they get the information, but that's not official information. It's just, I don't know what it is, quite frankly. I know the website you're talking about. I've seen that information. It ain't legit, brother. Eric, what comes with Cabana's Aikoko Key at Thrill Water Park? Cabana attendant, towels, you get some bottled water along with there. You get, obviously, a private cabana. That's a big one right there as well. Those are the biggies right there. Jason Calderon, you should be a godparent to a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. That'll never happen. But thank you. That's a very kind compliment. Axel, never been in Nassau. What's good to recommend there? Ooh, if you want to go to the beach, British Colonial Hilton, great option for you. That's a day pass, has an extra cost to it. But Cabbage Beach is also a really great option as well. Otherwise, I might recommend to you, if you want something completely different, Jetline Simulations does a Boeing 737 flight simulator. It's a lot of fun. And last question from my good friend Cruise Addicts, recommendation for Cosmel for a big group cheap excursions. Paradise Beach. It's very inexpensive, great for a group. You will love it. We have a review of it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. All right, seriously, last question from John Massney. Do I have any idea when Royal Caribbean will set sail from LA to Mexico? I wish I knew, brother. As far as I can tell, there are no plans for it, but again, you know as much as I do. So the answer is, I don't know. All right, guys. On that note, I got to head on out. But if you're saying, wait a minute, Matt, I have more questions. I want to talk more Royal Caribbean. I want more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun advice. Check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Eric Thomas, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. There's plenty more waiting for you at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. And we are live every Monday right here on YouTube, guys. So come join us here each and every time we are live. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.